Welcome to Black Talk Show. I have candidate LaDonna Sherwood running for City Council, Ward 3 in Beaumont, Texas.
Yes,
Welcome to the
yes.
show.
How are you?
I'm good. So, how's your day been going? You been busy?
Well, it's been busy. Of course, during campaign season, there's not any off days. And if you're outside in the community, getting to know people and talking to them, it's nonstop activities and places to be and people to see. So I've been
Yes.
having it today. I'm I've been outside today, so but I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. So, I want you to introduce yourself first.
Well, I'm LaDonna Sherwood. I am a lifelong resident of Beaumont. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a small business owner. And overall, I've been in Beaumont my entire life, with the exception of college and moving away for a little bit just to, marriage and things of that nature. But I graduated from Clifton J. Ozen High School, the first graduating class of 2000. I attended University of Houston, where I got a bachelor's in public relations, and Lamar University, where I got a master's in public administration. My mother has been an insurance agent, one of the first African American female farmers agents in this area for over 35 years. So I've also become a licensed insurance agent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am currently a licensed childcare administrator, where I work with youth that are in foster care or don't have families, youth that have special needs and things of that nature, counseling kids. I got my QMHP license to kind of be a counselor for them when they're in need. And my baby of a business that I've been doing for the past 18 years is working directly with Medicare and Medicaid, taking
Mm-hmm.
the elderly and the indigent to and from doctor's appointments, where I'm one of the
Okay.
primary providers for Beaumont, Port Arthur, Orange, Nederland, Bridge City, Jasper, Koontz. And we go as far as Pasadena, League City, Houston, the Woodlands, things of that nature. So we offer services to the elderly, and I've been doing that for about 18 years. But some of my work that I'm most proudest of is with the Jefferson County Democratic Party, where I am the
Mm-hmm.
precinct chair of Precinct 23. I am the former treasurer of the Democratic Party. And Precinct 23, I must boast, is the highest voting precinct in Jefferson County
All
because,
right.
as you may know, I focus on turning out voters and informing people when elections are, who's running, and how
Yes.
they can have conversations with candidates. I've been doing that for a decade now. And so I just feel like right now it's a culmination of things that's brought me to running for office. And I'm super excited to kind of be a voice for people that feel unseen and unheard. I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Just a little
So,
bit of
I'm a,
my background, probably a lot.
yeah. So, you done gave us your personal and your professional. So, what are some of the biggest challenges you see facing Ward 3, and how can you plan to address those?
I think Ward 3 is not unique in the challenges that it has. There is sewage and drainage issues and streets and sidewalks and infrastructure issues. By Ward 3 being the oldest and the largest ward, of course, um, Ward 3 does have some infrastructure challenges. There's no a way around that, but that's not unique to Ward 3. Ward 2 has sewage and drainage issues. Ward 4, Ward 1, parts of Beaumont flood when there's a heavy rain and the sewer backs up, even at my house, right? So we understand the infrastructure challenges, and we know that that takes money, and it took us decades upon decades to get to this point, and it'll probably take us the same amount of time to get out of those challenges. So Ward 3 is not unique in the challenges that it has, but infrastructure is one of the main issues. Of course, people would like to associate Ward 3 with most of the crime, right?
Mhm.
So crime is a huge issue, public safety, things of that nature, and then just overall quality of life.
Yes.
Not having access to stores and grocery stores and pharmacies and things of that nature, that um economic development and things like that. We want to improve on our parks and recreation, green spaces, all of the things
Mm.
There are so many
What's
issues,
your
but
top
there is
three?
so much opportunity. So my top three issues that I'd like to focus on is infrastructure,
Mm.
quality of life, and economic development. If I had to pick three, those would
Three.
be the top three. Youth engagement is right up there because you can't talk about crime without engaging the youth. So I think that that's really something that starts at home, and it starts with individual families, and it starts with having tough conversations. And so that would probably be my top three.
Okay, so what do you envision as an economic growth for Ward 3 in that area? So you saying the
I think
infrastructure?
that, yeah, I was just about to say, I think that really the heartbeat of Beaumont is Ward 3 because that
Mm.
encompasses the North End, the South End, and downtown. And while we want to focus on revitalizing downtown and making it a center for entertainment and arts and all of these things, we
Mm.
can't forget that Ward 3 actually encompasses the North End and the South End. And as far as economic development, I think that we need to incentivize businesses to come and make some of these the red tape that we have in creating affordable housing and things of that nature. The city can be found working harder to incentivizing businesses to come, right?
Yeah,
Um, what does that actually look like? Does it look like tax abatements? Does it look like curb and gutter help? Does it look like electrical help or planning and zoning code
yeah,
restrictions and things of that nature? What does it look like? Well, we just want to be found being more attractive and more accessible, right? In Ward
mm,
3 to attract more businesses.
oh,
Um, Affordable housing is huge. We know that we want to have a major grocery store or maybe family owned pharmacy, things of that nature that it's lacking in Ward 3, both in the North End and the South End. So
mm,
we want to be found being friendly and being open, open and receptive to people that may, and we want to compel people to come by being found doing the work.
yeah. So what are your plans on improving the housing address and addressing
Well,
homelessness?
I think that one thing that we can do as a city, there's like a community development program where they will take and rehab homes, right? So
Mhm.
if people want to come in and do certain amounts of things, the city has programs where they can come in and rehab homes and make those homes affordable homes. Or
Yeah,
they can come in and there are incentives, there should be incentives for new home builders to build affordable housing, things of that nature. And I'm looking forward to working on projects such as this. I've got a friend right now that's trying to create 70 townhomes off Concord
mhm.
to make it affordable housing. And while
Okay.
he's running into a little bit of red tape, I think
Mhm.
that with the right push and the right voice speaking up on his behalf, that would be 70 homes, right? There's
Mhm.
somebody that I actually know that's actually working on a project on Concord, which is in Ward 3. And I think that that's a big deal. And just to kind of back up a little bit, I have lived and I work, we own a small business inside of Ward 3, Nails Place downtown, a more mature environment for entertainment. So
Mhm.
I think that businesses can thrive in downtown with the right help.
Yeah. Right environment. Yeah. Mhm.
Right, right,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So what initiatives would you like to support to strengthen the relationship between law enforcement and the community?
Let me tell you, I am super excited about working with law enforcement. I am excited about the Real Time Crime Center, and I'm excited about the community. Like there are community pilot programs about advisory boards and things of that nature. But I think we can strengthen those things by offering incentives for police to work where they live, right?
Yeah.
um, and making that more advantageous to them. And I think when there's skin in the game and you actually feel a part of the community, I know
Yeah.
oftentimes people don't want to live in a community that they police for fear of retaliation and things of that nature. But when people see you and they know that you're in and of the community, this matters. And I want to be found being a conduit to renew those relationships and help out in any way that I can. Our first responders, fire police, all of these people have thankless jobs and it's really hard mentally and physically. We appreciate them. We need them. The city cannot operate without them, but we want to be found making sure that they are also really invested and a part of the community that they work in. And I'd love, love, love to see all of the relationships strengthened between first responders and the community. It would be my pleasure.
Okay. So, as you know, the city council does not directly oversee the schools,
Oh,
but how do you plan on to collaborate with the school district to improve education in Ward 3?
I'm excited that there is a youth council that was reinvigorated. The former mayor, David Moore, I think, created that years and years ago. And AJ Turner and a few of the current council have revived that, a youth council. So this gives a firsthand look at community departments and what the city does. And it gives kids an opportunity for mentorship. I think that the city needs to partner with BISD in other ways. Recently I went to a labor meeting and they were talking about apprenticeships, where
Yeah.
in the apprenticeships they offer on the job training where these people can get benefits and salaries and all the things without having to necessarily go to college and get these student loans and get into debt and things of that nature. And I want to be on the pioneering front of working with BISD to make sure that our kids get to go to work or have
Yeah.
some opportunity to get trades directly
Yes.
from high school, not
Hmm.
necessarily pushing everybody towards college because
Right.
everybody's not going to go to college. And there's a lot of industry here locally. There are pipe fitters and there are welders and there are electricians and there are plumbers and there's a lot of heavy machine operators and engineers and different things that can happen. And I think that the city needs to be right on the pioneer front of BISD, helping them pull
Get
students up
education.
to offer them opportunities and
Yes.
apprenticeships and be a part of that. And I think that reading and crime has a correlation. So if you see me at these schools and I'm reading the young people and I'm interacting with them, this is a part of my crime initiative because I feel like with the statistics, when you look at the numbers, a
Mm.
lot of violent criminals find that either they have mental health issues or they read it on a third grade level. They never
Yes.
got to be able to articulate and
Mhm.
communicate. And we know that when you can't use your words, then you often resort to other levels of violence and things of that nature. So it's
Yes.
a big deal for me for us to reach kids early and get involved with them early on, the little ones. Teach
Okay.
them that there is another way and show them that there's ways to resolve conflict without violence, right? And so I'm excited to partner with BISD. I'm excited to I'm a parent, I'm a mother, and I
Yeah.
see the young people and I want them to feel seen and heard and valued and like they matter and like somebody's concerned. And I work with at-risk youth. I work
Mhm.
with kids that don't have families, that don't have a mother, that don't have a father, that don't have a home base. And my heart goes out to these young
Yes.
people. And I want to be found doing the work. I'm already doing it. I'm just ready to take it to City Hall.
Yes. Go ahead. So, how do you plan on to ensure the voices of Ward 3 residents are heard in city?
Well, as you can tell, baby, I am
You
not
are
short of
fired up.
words. I am not short of words.
Yeah.
And I am a listener, right? And you can always find me outside in the community, talking to people and listening and getting their feedback and finding out what matters to them. Quality of life matters to the residents of Ward 3. Being seen and being heard matters to them. They want to feel like they have somebody fighting for them, fighting for a
Mhm.
disproportionate share of dollars and allocation of resources for Ward 3 specific projects and initiatives. And
Yes.
that's what I want to be found doing. I want to be the voice. I want to be the person to step up to the plate and make sure that we are fighting for Ward 3 specific issues,
Yes.
problems, and solutions, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Okay. Do you plan on having town halls or forums to hear
Oh,
the
yeah.
residents?
Honey, I've been doing that for 10 years. I am all about
Yeah.
hosting events and putting my money where my mouth is, making
Yeah.
sure that even if you're coming, we host these things sometimes right after work, that there's a dinner prepared for you. So not only are you listening to candidates and you're meeting them and you're getting to ask them questions, but you're getting to pick their brain. But
Yeah.
there's also a little benefit in it, right? We're gonna have a dinner. We're gonna have something that kind of motivates you to come
Mhm.
out and be a part of the solution and get your concerns heard. Yes, town halls or like a really big way of just meeting and talking and listening and getting to come to some reasoning. The Bible says, "And all my getting, get an understanding." So
Yeah.
you want to be found talking to your neighbors and your brothers and your community and reaching out to them in a way that makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
We want to be talking plain English. We don't want to be talking over people's heads and
Yeah.
talking about issues in a manner that people can't understand. We want to talk real table talk issues that actually affect day to day lives, and that all politics is local, but that's important to me. That's important to me to be
Yes.
outside talking to people and hosting places where people can come and talk and listen and meet.
Yes. Okay. So let me ask you another question. So when you're approaching the managing the city budget responsibly, what are you while ensuring essential services are funded? What can you?
Well, I think like this. First, I think scared money don't make no money.
Yeah.
And I think that it takes money to make money.
Yeah.
And then being a business owner, I do know that we have to be responsible with our spending, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna be fiscally responsible, not necessarily wanting monies to be sitting in pots or pockets when we need to be spending it on infrastructure or allocation of resources that we need. I know that oftentimes people think that budgets and spending is wasteful, and there may be fat and there may be places to trim, but
Hmm.
there may be areas that actually need the money to be spent. And we can't be found twiddling our thumbs when we need to be getting to work or we need to be getting professional advice or help or counseling and things of that nature to make sure that we're moving projects forward. I'm all about forward progress, right? So we're
Hmm.
not going to be sitting holding money to make our budget look
Good.
cute when we need to be going to work. Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, responsible, sure. Um, but I think that, you know, without raising taxes and just spending taxpayer dollars frivolously, we have to be watchful and vigilant of where we're spending. But we also want to be found making sure that projects are moving forward. So,
Do you
that
believe
that
the city? Do you believe city do any overspending or underspending in the city, or
I
especially in
think
Ward
I
3?
think specifically in Ward 3 there hasn't been enough spending, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need more. We're gonna need more. Being the oldest and the largest ward, we need more. We need more, and I want to be found getting the more that we need.
Okay. So how do you feel like plans? How do you plan on addressing the environmental issues such as the flooding and pollution, if you have any in your area or in?
Well, Ward 3 has a lot of refineries and a port, and a lot of things are happening in that area as far as pollution and flood mitigation and all of those things. I think, of course, we want to be found being responsible for our planet and responsible for the next generation and making sure that we're doing as green of things as we can possibly be doing, right?
Mhm.
We know that we're an oil and gas town, and we know that a lot of our funding comes from refineries and the things that are happening. But we also want to make sure that they are responsible to take care of their business in a safe and efficient manner that's going to be conducive to what the citizens in Ward 3 need and deserve. Right? Of
Uh,
course, we don't want pollution. Of course, we don't want no type of negative impact on our community whatsoever. And if there is a negative impact, we want to make sure that we're holding people accountable for what they say that they're going to do and when they say they're going to do it, and making sure that there's timely responses and ready responses in the event that something happens or an event that something goes wrong. And we need to have those measures and procedures and things like that in place. So yeah, I'm all for being responsible and being safe and environmentally protective of our wetlands and our area and our homes where we need our future to look
yeah,
positive. Period.
yeah.
For
And
sure.
I know y'all did some improvements on 11th Street and on Washington. Has that helped?
Well, they've done some drainage issues and improved some infrastructure, uh, retention ponds and things of that nature. I think that there's a lot of infrastructure work that still has to happen as far
Okay.
as all of that. There are a lot of projects that still need to happen for sure.
Okay. So how would you ensure that all residents, regardless of income level, have access to city services and resources?
Well, I think first things first, we need to be found alerting people to what the city offers, right? Because
Mhm.
information is key. To make sure that
Mhm.
people get the allocation of resources and things that they need. Oftentimes, people don't know what's going on. People don't know what the city offers, and I think the city is doing a better job with their Facebook page and their website, just alerting people of what the city offers. I know during the cold freeze, we offered warming stations and different things of that nature. The city did at any rate, and there were places that were taking in our homeless and our vulnerable populations. But I think that we got to make sure that we're getting the word out and we're informing people. We want to make information is key, right?
Yeah,
Communication is important when you're saying allocation of resources because you don't know that it's out there, then you can't really get something
yeah,
that you're not aware of, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's important. Communication and information. And I
Okay.
think that comes with having a good city council person that's on top of what's offered and being outside with the people, talking to them and being vocal,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And you out there in the community, so you is a good
You
person.
know that's right. You know that's right.
Uh, what would be your first action as a city council member if elected?
Well, I think my first action as a city council, if elected, would probably be to just improve transparency and accountability. And I say that lightly because I mean, I just want the people to know that I'm here for them and I want to be a conduit. I want to be their liaison. I want to be their voice. I want to be there standing up and fighting for what Ward 3 needs, right? That's the
Mm,
main thing. Main thing is fighting for Ward 3.
yeah.
Next thing would probably be engaging with the youth in a really meaningful way because BISD is a part of the growth of the city of Beaumont. People want to be found in a place that's attractive for their families to grow and thrive, things of that nature. I'm going to be working with the youth in a major way.
Okay. What do you see Beaumont, specifically Ward 3, in the next 5 or 10 years?
I think that so go Ward 3, so goes the entire city of Beaumont because Ward 3 is the heartbeat of Beaumont, right? I
Mhm.
hope that Ward 3 is growing and thriving in the next 5 to 10 years, a budgeting beacon of hope and light for the entire city. Ward 3 is historic in its nature, and I want us to be found making it a beautiful, safe, happy place to be. Beaumont has had a lot of
Mhm.
negative stories and a lot of negative impacts as far as education, as far as crime, as far I want Ward 3 to be a beacon of hope and light in the future of 5 years. Something positive that for the next generation, for our kids to look up to. I plan on living here with my family and hoping to make this a place where they want to remain here and grow and thrive. And that's what I want to see for Ward 3.
Okay. And what legacy do you hope to leave behind as a city council representative?
Well, I hope to leave a legacy of light and hope, right? Inspiration,
Mhm.
something that the young people can aspire to stay, right? Aspire
Yeah,
to,
instead of moving away.
right. I mean, we
Yeah.
want to keep some talent. We want to be found
Yes. Mm.
having a place where it's fun and it's exciting and it's growing and it's,
Mhm.
positive energy. And that's the legacy that I want to leave.
Okay. So, what do you believe sets you apart from your opponent?
I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. It's going to be drive. It's going to be determination. You're never going to
Mhm.
find a person that loves this city more. I grew up here and I've really got a very strong connection, community ties
Mm.
to Beaumont. My grandmother came here years and years ago. My great grandmother, I come from a family of entrepreneurs and business ladies. And for me, what sets me apart is how I feel and what I want for the city of Beaumont. This is what's going to show not only in day to day living, but the life that I lead as far as the community and what I've been willing to do to put in the work.
Your
Um,
light shine.
I know that's right.
so, so how do you plan on holding yourself accountable to the residents of Ward 3?
I'm excited. I'm excited, and I plan on keeping an open door policy. Come and talk to me anytime. We're
Yeah.
going to have an open door policy. We're going to have an open line of communication. Of course, I have a website. You can always go ask questions, voice concerns. You can message me. You can text me. My phone number is vocal, local, on is posted. You can always reach me. And I think the people hold you accountable, right?
Yeah.
The people are going to be the ones that's going to determine. And I welcome a scorecard. Pull it out. That's why I don't have a big platform because I'm not in the business of lying. I plan on keeping it simple and
Yes.
focusing on things that are attainable and realistic and honest goals, not all of this magic fairy tale ones. We can't fix everything at one time. And
Yes.
there's no point in making people think that I alone am going to do anything. It's going to take us all. It's going to take us all working together as a community, listening and working together. I plan on building bridges, not fences. I plan on creating alliances and getting the rest of my council members to see the importance of of growing Ward 3, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
when you can work together with people and make them understand the importance of your particular ward, then now you've got people on board because we know that it takes the entire council to get things done, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I wanna be found doing that.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to share with the voters of Ward 3?
I want to share with them that I'm LaDonna Sherwood. I'm asking for their trust, their support, and their vote. I am number one on the ballot, and I'd love to represent you down at City Hall. I've been doing it in the community, and now I'm ready to take it to City Hall for you. I want to be found listening. I want to be found doing what the people want and need in Ward 3.
All right. So, what do the people go to vote? Like, and then what are the election day and early
Election
vote day and election day?
Election Day is May 3rd. Early voting is happening April 22nd to 29th. And I always say elections are one during early voting. So don't wait till election day. It may be raining, it may be bad weather. You may not make it. Anything can happen. So if you vote early, if you early, you can't be late. So this is what I
Yeah,
would encourage people.
yeah,
Vote early and make it to the polls. Have a voting plan. Make sure that you're registered. If you're not registered, I am a deputy registrar. We can get you registered. There will be rides to the polls. On election day, there will be polling locations all over Beaumont. I will be in and around voting all during early voting and especially on election day. And I want you to don't just meet me at the polls, beat me to the polls. Be sure
yes.
that you are voting, particularly in my community. We don't want to let our ancestors down. It is your
Mhm.
right, it is your responsibility, it is your duty. And I say you only have two powers, who you elect and where you spend your dollars. And you don't want to waste either one of them, right?
Yes, yeah. So you wanna make your voice heard. You want,
Make your voice heard. Make
yeah.
sure that you are found electing the most thoughtful, kind, responsible people that have your best interests at heart. That's what I would say.
Yes, I agree. So, is there any closing remarks you would like to add, or
Vote
are
LaDonna
you
Sherwood.
just vote? Yes,
Be
I
here.
hear
Remember
you.
that. LaDonna Sherwood, number one on the ballot. Vote for me.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
Thank you,
y'all.
listeners, for listening to Black Talk Show. We had candidate LaDonna Sherwood, Ward 3, City Council for Ward 3. She is on the ballot, number one. Make sure you go out to vote April 22nd through April 29th. Early vote. Go out early and vote because you don't know what's going to happen on May 3rd. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, thank y'all for tuning in, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me. LaDonna Sherwood, number one on the ballot. Thank you.